Tonight's video is on online horror stories from Snapchat, Tinder, Facebook Marketplace, and even a GPS. You'll find out. If you have any true online stories that you would like me to read on this channel, please send them in to badvibes760@gmail.com. The link is in the description. And sit back, relax, and enjoy. I'm a 22-year-old female for context. While I was living at uni by myself, I messaged a man who had a PS2 for sale on Facebook. It was a really good price and looked to be in really good condition. I really should have known that it was too good to be true. Anyway, I messaged him about it, and he says he would drop it off straight after work, and says that he's working at a building site near where I live. All good, right? Except he keeps on saying he'll do me a solid and drop it right to my door, even though I repeatedly said I would meet him at a nearby park. He said okay fine. He wasn't happy about it, but whatever. I was getting a PS2 and buzzing about it. So a few hours go by and I walk up the hill to chill with my friend Adam, who's a bloke and the same age as me. I mentioned that I'm meeting a man for a PS2, and Adam's like, "You can't just meet a random dude at a car park." I'm also very petite. I guess if someone wanted to grab me, they could, which was Adam's thinking. I agreed to let Adam come with me, and actually it was a good idea. The man texted me again, asking if it was still good to meet up and what I was wearing. I thought to recognize me, so I told him what I'm wearing and what I look like, and then I mentioned that I would be with a stocky, dark-haired man with a beard. He stops replying and deletes his Facebook account. I never hear from him again. I can't help but to think that something dodgy was going to happen, and my friend making me tell the guy I wouldn't be alone prevented it from happening. This happened a few years ago. I was traveling with my ex-boyfriend. We were in Nebraska, which as most of us know, is all cornfields. For some reason, OnStar took us off the interstate, so we were on a back highway and came up to a four-way stop. We see a car that's seemingly broken down in the middle of it, which I found odd. So I said, "Don't stop," and he said, "Okay," but then stopped at the stop sign anyway. As soon as he stopped, three guys got out of the car. I told my ex, "Get the hell out of here." He quickly turned to start off speeding. As I looked in the mirror, I could see one of them holding out something at us. I'm unsure if it was a machete or a gun. More people started coming out of the corn near the car as well. Certainly, they were planning on tricking, ambushing, and killing someone. First time poster here. I've been spam reading stories on here for weeks now, and I'm obsessed with the subreddit. A post I read recently reminded me of something that happened to me and my buddy a while back. It's not as insane as some of the posts here, but it's definitely creepy as hell. So it starts when one of our friends gets a message from a match on Tinder, but instead of being interested in him, she tells him that she finds the other guy in her profile picture hot. My roommate at the time. We'll call him Dave. So he reaches out to Dave, cause why not? Happy to hook a buddy up. We all thought this was a hilarious way to meet someone. So it all plays out as some Tinder dates are expected. They meet up, go for a drink, end up back at his place. I remember him telling me that she was a little weird, but nothing too ridiculous not to hook up with. So they start making out, and then things got weird. She started getting aggressive and demanded that he aggressively squeeze her breasts as hard as he can. He was weirded out by this, but went for it anyways. But it was never enough for her. She wanted him to squeeze it so hard that it would hurt her, and started getting mad at him for not doing it hard enough. Anyways, he tried even though it was super uncomfortable, and eventually called it off, and the hookup just ended there. She wasn't happy about it, but she didn't do anything too crazy after that. So that was supposed to be that. He told her that he wasn't interested in seeing her again. She didn't get super stalkery, but she did send him a bunch of messages after that, pretty much indicating that she's not getting the picture. So he blocked her, and we didn't hear from her for weeks. We looked at this as just a weird hookup story, and that was that. Except the weirdest and creepiest part came from there, and somehow it ended up involving me. I'm in my room and matched with a girl on Tinder. When I first matched with her, something felt weird. It just felt like I recognized her. Note, at this point I only saw a few pictures of her when Dave met her the first time. So immediately, her messages were very sexually aggressive, and because of this, my warning bells are going off, and I'm not really biting. Like, she went straight into saying that she wanted to meet and bone instead of a date. And then she messaged me asking if my address was, and it was my address. So I'm fucking tripping out. I have no idea how to respond, and am completely creeped out that this woman knows where I live. But then I kind of realize who she is, and send a few screenshots to Dave. He confirms it's her, and we have a what the fuck moment before I block her and don't even respond. A bit anticlimactic, but it ended there. Didn't blow up to a full-on stalker, or murderer, or anything. I'm not sure if she was trying to get to me, or if she was trying to get to him through another one of his friends, but it was one of the creepier encounters I've had. Reading these stories makes me look back on that one with a different perspective, instead of just a funny story. Like she had the making of a full stalker material, or was she dangerous? Glad we didn't find out. Tonight, while eating at a 24-hour IHOP late at night, 1 a.m., I was seated with my dad beside a big window. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a kid, about high school aged, or maybe college like me, at the oldest. He was making a super creepy face. It was a split-second glance, but I think he had his eyes rolled back or something to scare me. Then as soon as I looked over and did a double take, because of the creepy face he made, he holds up his phone with the screen facing me and does a weird shuffling quickly up to the window, as if trying to show me something on his phone. I realize as he gets close that the screen shows Snapchat with the front camera on. So since the screen was facing me, I saw myself on the phone screen, and he snaps a picture of me, which I could see as the front of the screen was facing me, and then he runs in a weird shuffling run. I know it's just some silly teenager crap, but it's mildly unsettling, and I felt creeped out for the rest of my meal. I even debated on running outside to find him and splash him with a water bottle on his face or something, just for being such a creep. But obviously that would be overkill, and he seemed to disappear anyways. Is this some sort of TikTok challenge or something that I don't know about? Is making creepy faces at someone and then taking a weird front face picture of them a thing? I know it's harmless, but it sure was disturbing in the moment. So this happened like a decade ago. I can't remember her name or how we met. My first memory is sitting with her late at night in a noisy pub on a first date. The waitress had taken our drink order, so we were talking about this and that, and the conversation happens to be on funny video clips. So I show her a funny clip on my phone, she giggles, and then proceeds to show me one. So I take her phone, and it's a clip of a man getting his head chopped off by religious extremists. This feeling of horror, sorrow, and total emptiness comes over me like a void, like a vast body of dark waters. There's nothing to say, nothing to do, no way to come back, nowhere to go from here, because it's seen and can never be unseen, and I wasn't given a choice in the matter. I just stare at her phone until it locks and the light goes off. I look up at her, and she's just sitting there, taking in my reactions, smiling. There was no second date.